All right, it's 9 o'clock. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission on August 8th, 2024. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Brad, do you want to call roll?
Yes, sir. John Adams.
Here.
Michelle Hatter.
Here.
Bryce Conyers.
Here.
Kevin Green.
Here.
Rob Peasley.
Here.
Angie Moore.
Here.
All right, we will move on to number 3, approval of the minutes from the 7/11/24 meeting.
I'll move to approve.
Second. First and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
I'm abstaining.
One abstain. Move on to the Cowan Sidewalk Project bid recommendation. Right.
Yeah, Brian is not here today. Jeff, did you want to go through these, or do you want me to reference these? Or
It's
you want to
okay.
do this, Danielle? Danielle? So talk about these. I'll do it.
Doesn't matter.
Low bidder was CC&T Construction Company, $227,809. I have a recommendation letter from the engineer and the attorney. Danielle's reviewed as well. So the recommendation is CC&T Construction. It is to note that they were under the engineer's estimate. I thought I had read maybe in an email at some point, nearly $30,000 under the estimate. So that's the recommendation. I can answer questions if there are any.
I have a question. I was not here for the last meeting. Is there any particular reason that these bids were not presented to us for review?
They were opened at the meeting and the board recommended we give them to the attorney and the engineer. So,
Okay.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of customary.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Any other questions?
We're assuming they're all same quality.
Yeah, so the summary from the engineering company was included with your packet. So the engineering company went through 24 different items and then denoted on the 24 different items what was considered correct in the bid applications and what was not. So you can see under one of the contractors, there are several items that are noted in highlight that were deficiencies with those proposals. So those were calculations done in error. So that's why I think it's important to have the engineer keep tabs on those.
I will move to approve to CC&T Construction Company.
Second. First and second. Any other questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Alright, move on to resolution 2024-10, Bridge 75 requests for assistance. Danielle.
This is a follow-up to Angie's request last month. We have $520,000 going to Bridge 75, which is on Schaefer Road at Killbuck Creek. I think we projected a 2028 maybe start, so we've got a little bit of time, but this is the resolution to follow up on the request from last month.
The design has already started, so I will be paying invoices.
Yes.
Move approve. I've got a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a first and a second. Any questions?
I'm sorry, it was a second from Angie or Michelle?
Michelle.
Michelle, thank you.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'll abstain.
Alright, so number 6, preliminary engineering agreement, Norfolk Southern.
So on this one, we have what I consider great news. For about at least a year, if not a year and a half, we've been trying to get a hold of someone to communicate regarding our trail system on the south side of Muncie for a crossing of the trail that comes up to the railroad track, and then there's a big dip. The trail stops, goes back out on the other side of the railroad track, and then it starts back up. So we have a section that has no completed path or a way to cross the track safely. We've had a lot of complaints, but we hit nothing but walls with Norfolk Southern. So we finally, after reaching out, I couldn't tell you how many emails and letters and left voicemails and was transferred between one state to another state for the particular person that they said was in charge of this type of a project. I found who I believed to be the person that I needed to talk to, but I just couldn't get any communication from him. So finally, I think it was around the middle of June, maybe June 18th or so, I sent a letter to every head honcho in Norfolk Southern's corporation that I could and just said we were gonna condemn their property. And we posted it on all of the county's social media sites. We sent it to Kyle, and I don't even know where all he put it, but we just put it everywhere we could. And oddly enough, within about 2 weeks, the end of June, I got a phone call from the guy who I suspected was the person we needed to talk to. So I think there had been some miscommunication. It was forgotten that this was a project we needed to look at. I think on our side, the engineers that had worked on it, several people were not with that company anymore, and it was one of those things where nobody could find the paperwork, everybody forgot about it type of thing. So we have finally been in constant communication with them. Brad and I were able to get on a phone call with EW Chambers and the other people within his organization. We're moving in the right direction. This agreement for preliminary engineering services, this is required and it's statutory, so the amount is non-negotiable because I did try to see if there was anything they could do due to the length of time it's taken me to get a hold of them, but I wasn't able to get anywhere on that. So this engineering cost of $15,000, this is an up to $15,000, and what this is for all of, you guys have already done your part on what you believe needs to be done to construct a path for this crossing. So we had to resubmit all of the engineering work to them. This is a cost for them to review all of that and to be able to say, okay, we approve what you want to do, or you need to make this or that change to comply with the Federal Railroad regulations. They said it may be less than that, but this is the up to cost that it could be. So we have to sign this agreement in order to move forward with the next steps of getting that trail completed. If anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer them if I can. And I wasn't involved in the trail system back when all of this took place, so some of it I may not be knowledgeable about, but I can get answers to if there's anything that you guys need to know that I'm not familiar with.
Goes back to 2019, Danielle, is that?
I think so.
I do get phone calls from people who use the trail, who have to go out into the street around the crossing arm apparatus, and people do want this trail finished over that road crossing.
So that's for on Callan.
Yes, it is, it's on calendar.
And people
tried for 4 years.
complain that they, put their bikes up and then they're going down into the ditch and up and over the railroad track, which they're not supposed to do.
It's a
and
major safety hazard right now.
I think this is needed for sure. I'll move to approve.
Second.
I got a first in 2 seconds. Any other questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right, we'll move on to the Lawson Nursery pledge and right away.
This is another one that I wasn't involved in when it took place, but this issue has come to light in the capacity of me representing the Regional Wastewater District. I had Brad pull the minutes and some documentation from when your board, which I know some of you weren't involved in that pledge either, but a pledge was made to Lawson Nursery when they expanded. They put in a septic and they had an easement that goes all the way down to the highway, crosses underneath, and then was going to go into a property on the other side, the south side of the highway, but I believe it's just in the road right of way is my understanding now. In the minutes and what was presented to the Regional Wastewater District and to the Redevelopment Commission when you guys made the pledge was that once they were done with construction, they were to dedicate those lines to the regional wastewater district. The regional wastewater district was then going to take over and maintain those lines for Wassons, because obviously they don't have the capacity or the ability to maintain and service those lines themselves. They have started contacting us wanting the district to take over those lines. There are issues coming up that they don't know how to handle. The problem is we can't work on them because we don't own them. And we have been asking for a good 6 or 8 months for the easement documentation, anything where I could draw up some dedication paperwork that was supposed to be completed as a part of your pledge. We have finally been able to figure out that they never secured an easement to cross, I think, 1,200 feet of farmers' property to get to the highway. They just installed the lines and never paid for the easement. They don't have any of the information that we need to secure dedicating the lines to the district. I am not sure what happened on their end or where the miscommunication came from. The farmer has been in constant contact with me, wanting to know, when is someone going to deal with me on the lines that they've already put in. I don't have those answers because I don't represent Wassons. So I'm just bringing this to you guys as an FYI. This is what's happening. I'm not really sure how we proceed from here, but my thought was, because it is in your minutes, my understanding from the people that were involved back then was part of the pledge was that they dedicate those lines to the district, and they have not done that. So maybe a letter on behalf of the Redevelopment Commission saying, we have been made aware that you've not completed your part of this pledge. Please give us an update on where things stand, and just give them an opportunity to reach out and let us know what's going on. We did the same thing from the district's perspective, and we have not received a response. I'm hoping that one is forthcoming in a short time frame, but I'm also not sure. So I leave it up to you guys to give me direction on how you want me to proceed. That's just what I know about the project at this time.
Any questions for her?
So when was this, Danielle?
This was it last year?
I think the pledge was
It's
In
more, it's,
22.
yeah, it's 2 years old. Yes, yeah. And the work, I know the work took some time to get started and be completed, but it was coordinated with their expansion at Wassons Nursery, which I presume everyone has driven past and seen the expansion. But yes, this board pledged funding to assist them with extending the sewer line, which was necessary in order for them to construct their new facility. They needed to be connected to sewer. And then as Daniel mentioned, it was supposed to be dedicated to Delaware County Regional. So that last step has not happened yet. So actual work has been done construction-wise, but it's not been completed and transferred.
So it's just a friendly reminder letter from us.
I think so. I think that's the
That's my
start of it.
recommendation to you, is to let Daniel send them a letter and notify them that they need to complete that last step. Yeah. And whatever they need to do with the right-of-way, they need to complete that right-of-way acquisition, whatever capacity they need to do that, and then transfer the lines.
Do you need a formal motion to
I think
give
it'd be a good
Danielle
idea.
authorization?
I'd like the paper trail.
Okay,
I got a first.
so,
I got a first and a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? All right, Delaware County Highway Department paving request. Tommy?
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank the commission for everything you guys have done in the past, working with us, helped us make the roads better, work together. We've got the annual paving list. Do you guys have that in front of you? It's a request list.
Is there any striping you gotta do with this, Tommy?
Is there much striping on the trail? I think there's anything
That will be started.
there will be, but we'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that in-house.
Any storm inlet repair or anything?
No, it's just gonna be, there's gonna be some grinding, and while we're talking about it, there's some grinding, if you look at the top where it says Tolson, between Hoyt and 26th Street, we overlooked a part of the milling cost on that. It was not included in on that. That's the only parts that going to have to be milled there. And it was not included on the original. So we went back and got that. If I need to leave this road off and us come back and pick it up again next year, because there is gonna be almost a $26,000 increase on what we originally asked for.
So the total has to be about 248.
This is the updated,
Oh, this is-
pricing. The previous
Yeah.
one was under 200.
Yeah, the previous one I sent in an email,
Yeah, you got the right one.
the one I sent in an email did not
Yeah.
include the milling cost on the.
So it'd be 222.
Yeah.
Yes. And like I said, I apologize. We completely overlooked it when we went back the last time and went over it. We found it.
We have money for all
Sufficient
this.
funds exist to pay all the roads, yes.
Not a which TIF will we take.
This would be industrial center area TIFs.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
I got a first and a second. Any questions? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Move on to September meeting, Brad.
Yes, September meeting, I will not be here, I have a trip planned, I know one other member's notified me that they will not be here. I was going to ask, so we can ensure we have a quorum, and then I have everything ready for the meeting, if we could move to the meeting to September 19th. If that works with everyone's agendas, calendars, I'd like to make that ask of the board.
You said September 19th.
Yes, if that works with all of you, that's my ask.
Same time.
Same time, 9 AM,
I'm not available, but you guys do you, so.
room is available.
I'm fine with it.
I'm good.
As long as we're done before 10, I have a 10 o'clock.
We'll meet with Bryce's kid.
Not anticipating a huge agenda unless we have some surprises, so, yeah.
Everybody good with September 19th?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'll make the,
All right, move on to invoices. Any questions on those?
I read them. Move approved.
Got a first,
Second.
first and second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? And on to the bond invoices. Any questions on those? I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Got a first
Second.
and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any questions from,
I got two things for us, Bryce.
Okay.
So, we all talk to each other sometimes in different capacities. Talked to Angie more this week about 332. It's not county's responsibility, but it's not smooth. There's some bumps. I don't think it took Angie 2 hours to say, there's 13 joints that NDOT has missed that they will be reworking on. There's a depression that's to the east of, or the west of the interchange that's separate work order. And Angie, you take a lot of time to do community crossing grants, bridges, and NDOT stuff for all of us. And I just want to say thank you, because it's thankless what you do.
I appreciate that, Rob.
It's underappreciated. People don't know it. So
Thank you so much.
appreciate you doing it. Everything you got. Just kind of, let's be appreciative today. Amber decided she's going to join Brad and Michelle in the best dressed contest. If I didn't know any better, she had a job interview. But I do know better. I saw on the interwebs, the city's face page, there's a little announcement about Amber. We'll get there in a second. I didn't know Amber before she joined this board. I knew she likes to share her opinion. She is running for office, and anybody that's running for office I'm going to respect, because that's hard. Amber has a lot of questions of all of us in this meeting. Sometimes I think it's critical, but realize it's because she's trying to understand. She wants to make good decisions. I will tell you, we agree to disagree, but we also agree to move on. And with that, Amber's earned my respect. I will say, Amber, I'm sure for Muncie losing their communications director to a different role, different job, was hard for Dan. It's probably bittersweet, but I know he did his due diligence in hiring you. I know you will do a great job for Muncie in helping Delaware County communicate what the government of Muncie is doing. you'll put your best effort forward. Just want to say I'm proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
There's my heartfelt Angie, Amber, both of you. Michelle,
Thank
you're up next time. Try someday.
Can I leave the part out about the best dressed?
No.
Any other comments, questions?
Yeah, on the Wasson Nursery, the Delaware County Regional Wastewater District, if you guys are gonna take that over, I recommend requesting a copy of the inspections. If you're already having trouble with that infrastructure, with your letter, I would recommend asking for a copy of the inspections that they perform.
We've actually requested everything and have got next to nothing. So that's part of the frustration on the district side. I'm not sure what's going on their end, but we're trying to get to the bottom of it.
Any other questions? If not, I will take a motion to adjourn. So the first,
Second.
and a second, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? We are adjourned.